Mike, do you remember those little roly-poly bugs that you'd play with as a kid?
Oh man, I
And
haven't thought about that since I was a kid.
you'd kind of like touch them and they just like roll up. They're like mini armadillos or something.
Yeah.
They're the bug
Yeah.
version of an armadillo. Well, today we're covering an app that is totally new called Rollie. It has nothing to do with those bugs. They just made me think of it. And this will be a fun episode. It'll be a short episode because it's a totally new app. It's very simple. And honestly, I think it's solving my problem, which is amazing. There's been so many apps in the track your spending, track your weekly balances, get a budget. And I feel like none of them have really done what has needed to be done, which is just give me the clearest picture of, am I sticking to my budget or not? Am I bringing in more money than I'm spending? And is my credit card spending getting out of control? And so Rollie, while we don't know the background, it's a new app. I stalked the Twitter a bit. There's not too much. There's no news about it yet. It's Rollie.co, ROLLIE.co. And it basically, I downloaded it and it really just shows you at a simple glance what your spending has been like. And the feature that I love most is really the feature that shows you your net for the week and your net for the month. And I think what's really interesting about Rollie is in some ways it makes me think of myself as a business. It makes me think of myself as a business because I'm seeing the outflow of capital that I'm spending every month. I'm seeing the inflow of capital that I'm making. And then I'm starting to think about these different categories, where is that going? So I think whereas something like a Mint started with the full categorization of everything and it makes it complex, where am I, what am I spending? Rollie started at the other end of the spectrum. What's the inflow? What's the outflow? What's the daily spend, the weekly spend? What's your rolling average? And I think that's why it's called Rollie. So why don't you break down the features for us in your segment here, Mike?
Yeah. So breaking down features, as far as getting started with the app, it's very, very simple. It's on the Apple Store. So downloaded that. Very little user information to add input to get started. And once I got going, I was able to connect my bank accounts in a minute, and it started pulling in my transactions for the last month or so. It is a paid app. That's one thing I want to make sure you know. I think it's $199 per month after a free trial, and then I think you can also pay upfront for the year, and it's $19.99. As far as in-app features, like you said, it's the antithesis to Mint and the ones that are out there now. It's the most simple spending and like balance checking apps that you can get. So main features are a spend summary, which it's going to show you by day, your transactions. Felt very similar to looking through your like native bank feed, where you're looking through and seeing, I spent this at Target, I spent this at the grocery store. It's very transactional. Nothing groundbreaking there. The other piece, balances, so you can very quickly just push a button and see what your balances are to the connected banks. I thought this might be very useful to people who have banks all over the place, because now you may need to check 4 or 5 different apps. This is one place that consolidates all that. So that was a feature that I was pretty excited about and thought that would be useful if you have banks all over the place. There's also, like you said, an insights feature where it will show you basically your profit and loss, just like you explained it as a business, what came in and what went out. And I think that's very helpful. I think this app does a good job of just showing you the easiest, uncluttered answer to the most basic questions. How much money do I have? Where's it going? Am I making more than I'm spending? And it's actually a very clever way to approach the problem. And
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
And that's what New Money is about. It's about the sort of human version of understanding your finances, understanding where you should invest, understanding what opportunities there are for you, where you can bank, where you can get loans. And I think what Rollie does so well, and why I would definitely recommend people check it out and give it a download, is it's the first simple step to the sort of unscary version of peeking behind the curtain of your finances. Like, I feel like I finally now see a really simple, oh, okay, that's not so scary. I'm seeing what my balances are. I'm seeing what money's coming in, and without having some really intense spreadsheet set up. So I think for anybody who's looking to make that first commitment and that first step, I want to manage my finances. I want to know where I'm at. I know that by tracking this, I'll actually improve, and I'll start to see trends, and I'll start to potentially even look for ways to earn more or save more or spend less. Rollie will really do that for you. So I don't have too many predictions around this application. I just think I almost feel like it's more of the like a peak market trend, in that this app is so simple and it's so designed for, it doesn't feel like banking at all. Like, it's very much designed to feel like this fun app that just gives you some transparency and makes it simple. So I think my prediction is more, we are in a maturing market. If these are the types of people who are building companies, if this is the approach they're taking to building financial technology, it's very different than what Mint set out to do in the early days. So I'd say more just interesting where we are in the market. Mike, do you think you'll continue to use it? Do you, would you recommend to other people?
I think I think for people that are just getting started or trying to get a better handle on their finances, it's a good app to like rip off the band-aid and just, all right, let's get started on this. I don't think it's someone who, if you have a sophisticated way of tracking things, which I track everything for my whole family and my businesses in QuickBooks. So very detail oriented. This isn't something that's going to add any value on my end, but I can see it being valuable to someone who is either just getting into the adulthood of trying to manage their money better, or is ready to turn over a new leaf. So not the
Yeah.
target market for me, but I can see how it would be valuable to others. How about you?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, perfect for me. Not so much for Mike, who's a CFO who is very diligent about all these details. I like the more the predictions, trends, and being directionally correct in where I'm heading. So I think it's a perfect place for us to stop here. And thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you again next time.
See you, David.